Hello, and welcome back to the second video, part of the Smooth Strokes Self-Paced Hands-on Coding Bootcamp. This bootcamp is designed to equip you with the tools, knowledge, training, and experience necessary to become a professional web developer. By now you know the basic HTML tags to format text. In today's video, we will dive into one of the fundamental elements of HTML with a focus on building tables. So, let's get started. An HTML table is a structured set of data, organized into rows and columns. You might see tables used for things like schedules, pricing lists, or even to display statistics. The basic structure of a table in HTML involves a few key elements. On the screen is a simple HTML table. The table elements define a new table. The table row tags allow you to create a new row, and the table heading tags are used to create a header cell, and usually displays text as bold and centered, whereas the table data tags create a new cell within a row and displays text aligned to the left. Let's look at an example. Imagine we are creating a total table for customers that purchase plants from our e-commerce website. We need a way to organize this information in a clear and concise way. First, we must define a table by using the table element. Inside this element, I'm going to add a t-head element. The table head element is used to group the header content in a table. It typically contains one or more tr and th element that define rows and header cells. It also helps in creating a clear distinction between the header and the rest of the table data. I want to use the th tag so I can add a few new values like the date, name, product ordered, price, and quantity to estimate our total profit. After I finish applying those values, I will need to save the document. Here's what the table header looks like without any CSS. As you can see, we don't have any borders around the cell, and the data is squished together. We will adjust the default settings later in the video. For now, we only want to focus on building the structure of the table. The t-body element helps in separating the data rows from the header and footer, making it easier to style and manage. It also groups the main body content of a table, and usually contains one or more tr and td elements. I will add another tr tag to create a new row within this table, placing the td tags inside this element to create a new cell within the row, and begin inserting data inside the table. Mandy ordered a blueberry and raspberry plant on July 21st. The blueberry plants cost $18.95 and the raspberry plants cost $19.75. I can put all of this data in the first row regarding Mandy's order. You can use the br tag to create a line break to separate the orders within one cell. I'm going to follow the same structure when I build new rows and cells for Max and Heidi. Lastly, I'm going to group the footer content in a table using the t-foot element. This element typically contains summary rows, or totals, and can also include additional information about the table. For the total column, I want to use a strong tag to emphasize the importance of this value. HTML is not a programming language, so unfortunately we will not be able to use arithmetic to solve mathematical problems because HTML is a markup language. In other words, I will need to manually calculate and insert the totals per customer. In HTML, t-head, t-body, and t-foot are elements used to define different sections of a table. Using these elements not only enhances the structure of your HTML tables, but they help in organizing table content and improve accessibility and styling. Now let's style the structure of this table using commands. Inside of the head element, we need to add style tags so we can give the browser a set of instructions to follow. I want to tell the browser to add a black 1-pixel border around each cell. If you want to add more space around an element, try adding padding. In this case, I am going to use 18 pixels and see what that looks like. I also want to align the text inside the table body to the center, so it is in alignment with the headings. Next, we need to tell the browser to make the width of the table 100%, so it can stretch across the screen. If you want to control how borders are displayed between table cells, use the CSS border collapse property. When you apply this command, the borders of adjacent cells merge into a single border. This means that instead of each cell having its own separate border, the borders share a common line. This results in a cleaner look and eliminates any double borders that would occur if each cell had its own border. And lastly, I want to tell the browser to give the table heading a light green background. And the footer, a light gray color. You can style all H1 headings within an HTML document by using the H1 selector in your CSS. In this case, I am going to adjust the text align property to center to achieve the desired appearance for all H1 headings. If I wanted to create a table with images, I can follow the same structure from the previous example, but I will only add 3 rows and columns this time. I'm going to categorize each product with a heading first. You can use the class attribute on TH tags to style header cells specifically. Assigning a class to a TH tag allows you to apply unique styles to the header, which can differentiate it from standard cells. You can also use the class attribute to style individual table cells, or group them based on shared characteristics. Assigning a class to a TD tag allows you to apply specific styles, like background color, font size, and much more to that group of cells. If we want to embed images into this table, the IMG tag is essential for displaying images in HTML. The SRC attribute must point to a valid image URL for it to work properly. Using a hashtag inside the SRC attribute will not display any image and should be avoided unless it is being used as a placeholder for content. The alt attribute provides alternative text for the image, which is displayed if the image cannot be loaded. It's also important for accessibility, because it helps screen readers describe the image to visually impaired users. Now that we've built the structure, we are now ready to style the table. So we will need to go back to the head section and add some additional CSS. One of the simplest ways to make an image responsive is to set its width to 100% and its height to auto. This allows the image to scale down with the container while maintaining its aspect ratio. The reason why I assigned classes to these elements is because I already have CSS styling assigned to tables inside this HTML document. I want to keep the same characteristics from the first example, but make a few changes in this example. I will style any TH element assigned to the .shop heading class with a solid white border and a border radius of 30 pixels. I will need to use the CSS selector to instruct the browser to style all TD elements assigned to the .shop table class with 0 padding and a solid white border around the table data. Now our table is complete. Well, my friend, that concludes this lesson. We covered the basics of HTML tables, including their structure, attributes, styling with CSS, and accessibility considerations. Remember, accessible tables are not just good practice, but they ensure that everyone can interact with your content. If you love web development and building new projects, you're in the right place. Here at Smooth Strokes, we are all about ensuring students have a strong foundation in web development and being equipped to create well-structured, accessible, and responsive web pages. By subscribing, you'll join our amazing community and never miss out on our latest updates, tips, and exclusive content. Just hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you'll be the first to know when we upload something new. But thank you for watching, and we can't wait to see you in the next video.